guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do load a new video. And if you could also comment, like, and share, that would be amazing. So we are going to be setting up the cash envelopes for the month of July. Now I have a bunch of these, and it's one of those things where I need to take the pictures so that I can list it to my shop. But if you've been following me, you know that I do cash dividers because the wallet that I have does not fit these, or no, it doesn't fit the cash envelopes that I make. It's just not wide enough nor tall enough. So I've made these in order to, one, use up the scraps when I am making cash envelopes, but also, you know, not everyone, if you're like me, and I know that Budgeting D also use cash dividers, not everyone has the room to use them. So, I mean, I've got a bunch of these. And I do it in sets of 5, and I have a envelope punch board that helps me with these. But yeah, I am going to be switching out. And this is actually a set of 4. I believe the 5th one is where I store these, but I didn't realize that until just now, and I'm not going to be bothered. So I will go get it eventually, because I don't want just a single one floating around. But eventually you will see cash dividers in my shop. And this measures, including the laminate, 6 1/8 by 3 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the top of the divider actually is 3 1/2, but including the laminate, it's 3 5/8. But for my wallet, this works perfectly. I can actually close it. And sorry guys, I had a little bit of a panic moment. I mean, I haven't left my room, and so I know my wallet was in here, but I couldn't see it immediately. So when I put these in, and actually these are the old ones, they fit snugly here in this front pocket, and the flap closes. And I don't know if you can see through, but it doesn't touch the top, so they don't get bent. So that's why I designed them specifically to fit. Although if you have a clutched wallet like this, then I'm thinking it should be able to fit, because mine is gusseted, so it can go rather wide, or it can go rather thick, but it's not actually very wide. So I needed to design something where I could keep my categories but still fit in the wallet that I have. So yeah, I am setting up for this month. So we're actually going to not only set up, but we're going to change our cash envelopes. So thank you to these guys. I'll hold on to these. I mean, they're perfectly okay. I just, wanted to look at something different for a while. And then this is the money that I took out on from the June 20th paycheck in order to fund my cash envelopes for July. And as I do, this is the denomination request that I had submitted. So basically I gave my withdrawal slip and this, and then when they were finished counting, they gave me the envelope back, and then I stuffed the money inside, brought it home, and then stuck it in here. Although at the time I didn't realize it fit until I was doing the video. So now when I do the July 20th cash envelopes, whether I change this up or not, I don't know. It's underneath the laminate, so it works. I can just erase it if I need something different, but I know I can just stuff this in here. And I don't ever need a week 1 cash envelope, because week 1 is when I divide them all up. And what I mean by that is there are 5 weeks in July that we are funding with this. Sorry, my desk is tiny and I need space. So put that to the side. And I have 5 20s. So we're going to divide this into that. Yep, 5 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I believe there's 5 10s. Yep, and then there are 2 5s. And then, because this is the money that I have for the entire month of July, week 1 we're going to actually put in my wallet. Week 2 I am putting here. Week 3 I am putting here. 4 here and 5 here. And then I do have a place where I keep the excess cash that I don't use on a weekly basis, and right now this is going towards savings. So for June I had $45. It's washi, so it's fine if I put it on the actual bill. And I don't have a $5 challenge anymore, just because I don't spend the way that I used to, and doing a $5 challenge basically could decimate me on a weekly basis. I mean, I couldn't even start out with 5, so that's why I don't do it anymore. But I don't want to remove the label because I didn't realize at the time, but these labels I put on after the fact, had I put them underneath the lamination, I could have used a Sharpie and then just wrote over them. But you know, it's mine, it works fine. I am working on some of these envelopes for my shop, but again, guys, it's all moving parts and I just run out of time sometimes. So I did change this from last month, and let me get that. This is the DIY budget planner that I made from Erin Condren paper, Happy Planner discs and paper, some wall hanging calendars like that, and then some dividers that you put in like a binder system. And so for July, I'm actually not going to track the starting point of overall each category, because to be perfectly honest, it doesn't really matter. I know that most of my cash goes towards food, and then I spend for office and toiletries as needed. And right now, these 3 categories are good. I do have the 4 dividers, but one I might just keep in there. I don't know, but I did want to point out that I had changed this up just a bit. I'll put that away later. And so for week 1, we are going to do the same 3 categories, which is spending, office, and toiletries. We're not starting off with anything because we didn't carry anything over from June. And actually, let's table that for a minute. So for this month, I want to challenge myself with 2 goals. I want to save $100, and I'm only starting with 2, so you know, this might be a little ambitious, but save $100, and I'm hoping to be able to do that with 15 no spend days. And that's 15 no spend work days, because it's actually easy for me not to spend money on the weekend. It's very hard for me not to spend money during the week. And then at the end of the month, I want to work on or reflect on what worked for the month and possibly what didn't, just, you know, to try to be more mindful. Now, the reason why I wanted to table that is because this is the week of July 4th, and I have Friday off. I took it as a vacation day, so I'm only going to be in the office for 3 days. Sorry, brain fart. So I'm automatically going to start off. Yeah, I'm going to start off with $25. I can't think of any toiletries that I need, and I don't know that we need anything for the office. So I'm going to put everything in here. So $25 goes into spending. And this week, I'm only working the 4th week of July. I'm only working 3 days as well. And so that week, I will probably do the same. And this is all towards that $100 savings goal. So let's pull this guy here. And so before we even start, we're going to just give ourselves less money. And I'm hoping that is what's going to help us reach that $100 goal. Because honestly, if it's in my wallet, it is more likely to be spent than if it's, I mean, obviously if it's here in my bedroom, then it's harder to spend. I know. So much wisdom on this channel. So let me, I hate that. So I'm gonna, and I just said I hated that and then I still did it. So today is the 29th. And we're adding in $15. So that's there. And that's the money from, yeah. I will have to change that sticker because it bothers me that it says it. So we will put it here where it says previous month because, like I said, it bothers me. And I won't pull out the extra money from week 4 until I get there, but let me make a note. Working 3 days. And then hopefully that will remind me to put money towards savings. Now I'm hoping, since I'm only going to be in the office for 3 days, that I can actually save some of this because I really like to save some money. Who doesn't? And I don't have a lot to work with. I'd love to save, because I mean, even on when I get paid on the 20th, there is a little bit of wiggle room, but I use that extra money typically to do Snowball. So, and I think the problem I'm having right now is I'm sort of following the Dave Ramsey method, but I'm concurrently working on both getting my $1,000 emergency fund and also doing credit card debt snowballs. And that's actually not the way that most people do it because they work on step 1 as you do, and then step 2 one at a time. And so it might be just like my life where I've got too many things going on at one time, too many moving parts. And so I'm, good at a few things. What is it? The master of good at all, the master of none, or something like that? I don't know. It's something like that where I've got so many things going on that I don't really focus on the one thing. Yeah. Anyway, $25 in spending for the week, and then as we do every week, I will close out and we'll figure out what it is I spent my money on. And 2 guesses, it's probably going to be food. And then next week we'll come back and we'll stuff and we'll just keep doing that. I eventually, and I didn't have a chance because again, I run out of time, but I will eventually make this into a printable because even though I enjoy doing this, I love how this looks, it does take a bit of time, and especially, and I guess the other thing I can do is not make a printable and then just work on my month during the month, because at month end, I've got lots of videos to do regarding my budget, and I just, like I said, I run out of time. However, before I close this, I actually was able to get this on the blog, so there is a blog post. I will link that below, where I have 3 different goal trackers. There's a savings goal, there is a debt payoff goal, and basically it's the same thing, it's just the header is different. And then there's just a goal tracker, because something I've seen on Pinterest where they used a mason jar, and then when they lost weight, they colored things in. So I have a savings goal of $13.50, and the reason I have a savings goal of $13.50 is because that's where it ended. Nothing scientific. It did start out at $500 because I actually have $500 saved. So we are going to color that in. Now, when you go to and it's a free printable, so when you go to my blog and you print this, it does come like this, just a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but it is framed so that you can cut it without having to size it down, and it will fit perfectly in a classic size Happy Planner. So it fits if you are just using a binder system and you just 3-hole punch it and you just stick that in. Although if you cut it down, then it will fit as well without having to size it in your printer function. So, and I designed it that way just so that you wouldn't have to scale up or scale down. Now, if you did want to print this for your mini, I recommend going into your printer settings and scaling it down to about 70 to 75%, and it should shrink it down enough where it keeps the scale of it, but the overall size of it is smaller and should fit in your mini. Play around with it. I don't actually do anything in my mini no longer, so I don't know, but things I've done in the past, the 70 to 75% of the entire sheet seem to have worked. So I'm going to color this in, and I don't have any colored pencils handy. So it just goes in the mason jar here. I don't know if this is going to be a Rainbow Bright kind of thing, or if I'm just going to stick to the yellow. I don't know. But I'm hoping this will motivate me to try to curtail my spending. I don't think that I have a lot to spend every month, but I am very cognizant of the fact that I have a lot more than many people have to spend at all. So, you know, I'm really trying to hold firm to the thought that this is my journey, and I can't really compare myself to other people. So this is what I have. I do recommend one thing though. Because this is just regular copy paper, before you punch it, I would definitely recommend putting washi. Unless you're going to keep this in one place and always go to it, I plan to migrate this every single month. So I did want to give it a little bit more support than just regular copy or paper has. If you print it on something thicker, then you may not need to do that. But definitely put the washi down before you punch, because, well, I mean, you might be better at it than me, but I am horrible at punching thing that I've washied that's already punched, if that makes any sense. So yay, I mean, for our emergency fund, we already have $500. Actually, we have close to $550, but we will actually do this again at the end of the month, and hopefully we can just keep building until we have the $13.50, and that's more so because that's how many lines we had. I mean, I could have spaced this out more, but I didn't. All right, guys, so that is the cash envelope stuffing and setup for this month, the month of July 2019. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. I know it's not super exciting, just because I don't have a lot of categories and I don't have a lot of money, but I do want to share in this journey with you, just in case you are on a similar path as I am, or if you're like I was at the beginning of the year, just completely befuddled and baffled on how to even start. hopefully this helps you. Let me know in the comments below if it does. I mean, I'm hoping it does. I'm going to do it regardless, just because I really need to focus, but I am hoping that it helps someone. And as always, guys, aloha.